Good times on everyone, and welcome to a first impressions look into the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. I'm so excited to get into this. I did have a recording up previously, but I feel like I didn't do it justice, and it was supposed to go live tomorrow. But I was like, let me do a bit of a more cleaner analysis of the Oblivion Remaster from an Elder Scroll fan. So I took that video down, and so here we are again. And yes, as I did mention on my social announcements, we are going to be going back through Oblivion again from the very beginning because I've added mods to this game to make the game a bit more sensible when it comes to at least the difficulty part anyways. Because the difficulty is probably the biggest issue right now that a lot of people are having, and that's because basically if you play on master on master difficulty on the remaster, they're basically bullet sponges, which doesn't make any sense. On OG Oblivion Remaster, on the OG Oblivion Master difficulty, the difficulty in OG Oblivion, I don't know why I tongue twisted that, but basically, if you play on Master difficulty in Oblivion, you're not supposed to get through it, especially if you're not level 1. If you're playing on Adapt and you're level 1, maybe the game's a little too challenging for you. But if you leave it on Adapt, I believe your skills go up quicker. So it's all skill based, I believe, in OG Oblivion. But they have since but they have fixed this in the remaster, where it's a blend of Oblivion and Skyrim. So if you want that power fantasy as quickly and humanely as possible, and you want to see the whole world of Oblivion rather than figuring out, okay, what's that can I level up next just to experience this, then this remaster is your answer to that. However, though, again, there are a few caveats. There are a few issues with the game. First and foremost is, we might as well go in here and talk about it. So let's start with the little things. First and foremost, the general subtitles. There's no general subtitles in the game. I don't know why. It's a little bit odd that they don't have general subtitles. And then from my understanding, picking up, I believe like accessing loot and stuff is a little different here than it was in OG Oblivion. There's a mod for that makes it a lot easier to loot, apparently. And of course, in the graphic settings, there's DLSS. This wasn't here in day 1 for Starfield. They added this in day 1 for Remaster, so good on them. And then finally is the difficulty in the combat. So to go into a much thorough, well, you know what? Let me just show you. I am running mods, by the way, so I'll explain more on the difficulty as we get to the combat portions of the tutorial area. And this character that I'm going to be running as is only for the tutorial and for this first impression, and not much else. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll let Sir Patrick Stewart talk, and then I'll see you on the other side.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
And as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yes, this is a whole lot different. So yeah, we can go through the races, and I do love immediately right off the bat they give you a description of each of the races in the game. They even much like Skyrim, they give you the highlights, what's important. So if you play as an Argonian, you can breathe in the water, and they're good at picking locks. In fact, you can press the F button, opening and closing stats. You can see the stats of each of the races. You can see how what skills they're good at versus their, well, poorer skills. And then of course you have the neutral skills where it can go either way depending upon how you play. So yeah, here we have an Argonian who's good at agility and speed, a Breton who's good with intelligent willpower and magicka, so basically a magic character, a Dark Elf who's good at speed, but is rounded in intelligence and kind of meets a middle ground with agility, endurance, luck, strength, and intelligence. Even though luck is, well, again at 50, that might be a color glitch, because that should also be green if it's like at 50. And of course, you know, again, you have all these skills here that shows the skills that they're highlighted with, but when you pick your class, that's when it's gonna start. It's gonna divide itself. High Elf, Imperial, Khajiit, Nord, Redguard, Orc, and Wood Elf. For the sake of this first impression, we are going to play as an Imperial. Don't worry about the origin. The origin doesn't really play a part into the game, which is a bit disappointing. But if you are a role player, if you're doing a let's play, or if you just want to really role play your character, and then by all means. But again, there's no special dialogue for that whatsoever. Now there's a mod for this on the Nexus, believe it or not. But so just to give a quick snippet, there's a bit of a controversy with this part. I truly believe that this is a grammatical error. They definitely left this on the they totally forgot to type in male and female body types, you know, female and male body gender in here, because this is something you would see on like the cutting room floor. Like, okay, here are the body types when you're messing around with animation, skeletal outline, and stuff like that. So and of course you have the old age and stuff, which does affect their skin tone, which is really nice to see. Really nice to see. You have your tone, you have skin, eyes, makeup. The cool thing about the eyes too is that in Oblivion, in Skyrim, in Elder Scrolls Online, basically we never get to pick. We never get to have like, oh, like maybe you're a half elf, right? So you want to do half elf eyes. Well then, now you can. Now you can. But if you want Daedric eye color, then you can here. Or vampiric eyes or whatever. It's actually really cool to see that you can really role play your character here. So if you love D&D, if you love Dungeons and Dragons, this is your game right here, because my god, there's so many different eye colors. There's no war paint. Unfortunately, I believe the only thing. Yeah, you have your gross hairstyle. Let's see. I believe. Nope, there's no war paint here. Which is a bit of a letdown, but again, I totally get it. Because it wasn't in Oblivion. But yeah, you have your different hairstyles, and each hairstyle is dependent upon the race you play as. You can do like facial hair and stuff, which is really cool. Something that OG Oblivion never had. So for them to even consider that option to have facial hair is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible to have. Different hairstyles here and whatnot. Um, again, like, wow, like, and yeah, some people are having issues with like how the character models look, but again, they still managed to capture the jank look of it all, but in the form of UE5, or how UE5 is currently, you know, operating and all that. So, so I think for the sake of, oh yeah, you can change your the hair length and whatnot. Already you have like people coming out of the woodwork for character designs and whatnot. And of course we're gonna name him Bendu Olo, and then we are going to start Oblivion. On stream is gonna be a little different. On stream is gonna be a different character. We're gonna play as a Khajiit to honor the Khajiit run that we did in Classic Oblivion. And instead of Tom, it will be instead of Tomcat, it will be Tomcat's sister.
Oh, look, an Imperial in the Imperial prison. I guess they don't play favorites, huh? Your own kinsmen think you're a piece of human trash. How sad. I bet the guards give you special treatment before the end. Oh, that's right. You're going to die in here, Imperial. You're going to die. Imperial criminal scum like you give the Empire a bad name, you see. You're an embarrassment. Best if you just disappear. Hey, you hear that? The guards are coming. For you.
Boris, lock that door behind us.
A lot of the classic voice acting is here in the game, but they've also added new voice acting. And it's one of the things that I'm glad they fixed, because in Classic Oblivion, you hear the same voice actor 10 times in a row while going through about the Imperial city. Hi, how are you? How was your day? Oh, have you heard of what happened in Anvil? It's like,
No, that's
okay, can we just have somebody different, please?
No, they're dead.
See the lighting, the visual look, and the armor
What's
and
this
everything.
prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
No sign of pursuit, sir. Stay put,
Good.
prisoner.
Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength.
So,
Assassins attacked my
in
sons. I am next.
OG
My
Oblivion,
blades are leading me out
the
of
camera would
city on
zoom
a
up to
secret
the
escape
character.
route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads
But here,
through
you can
your
turn
cell.
that off, if I remember correctly. If not, then I must be standing far away from him without the zoom up. But as you can see here, there's a lot more. There's a bit of a Starfield. There's a bit of a Starfield animation here, with the characters feel more lively during the conversations. Because in Classic Oblivion, I hit my mic. Sorry about that. In Classic Oblivion, they just do this. Hi, how are you? How was your day? My day is fine. How is your day? You know, and they don't show a whole lot of animation. And yeah, it's basically a step up, is what I'm trying to say. Everything you're seeing right now is a big, massive glow up from the OG Oblivion.
I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way. Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for. You will find your own path.
Please, sire,
Okay.
we must keep moving.
So now you're probably wondering, but Minnow, I want that dialogue. What if I like the dramatic zoom up?
There's no way to open it from the other side.
Well, you could turn this back on.
Don't try anything.
Well, you could turn this on. You can turn this back on if you come back over here.
I'm watching.
Looks like this is your lucky day. Just stay out of our way.
Also, I know that there's performance issues and whatnot. So apparently the current fix for it right now is that if you're trying to change anything and the game still feels like it plays like crap after you change your settings, you have to restart the game, to see if it fixes itself. Because this wasn't running in 60 when I
Protect the Emperor.
played it last Thursday, or last Wednesday rather. So to see it fix itself. Oh, not to see it fix itself, but having to do that is a little weird, and I hope they fix it in the.
Captain Red.
This doesn't concern you, prisoner.
Sorry, sire.
How could they be waiting for us here?
Don't know, but it's too late to go back now. Don't worry, sire. We will get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate.
And yeah, the
Blades.
UI is a little bit bigger, a
I'll
little
take
bit big.
point. Let's move.
But there is a
Stay
mod
here,
that kind of
prisoner.
shrinks
Don't
it.
try to follow us.
I actually don't know why they even. Alright, so the combat in Oblivion. In OG Oblivion, depending upon where the difficulty is at, you're either gonna have a hard time or just, well, let me show you. So this is Expert combined with the difficulty level scaling mod and Ascension. So I'm gonna let the rat hit me. As you can see here, I'm going pound for pound with the rats. Albeit this is only a, you know, a normal looking rat. This is only the tutorial enemies, right? But what I'm trying to say is, if you're playing it before these mods even existed, on the remaster, by default, if you play on Novice, Apprentice, or Adept, you can basically just fly through these dungeons with little to no worry. Expert becomes a little more challenging, but it still feels like you're playing on Adept. On Master, the enemy feels... They feel bullet spongy. And the sense of being in danger goes right out the window, which is a damn shame, in my humble opinion, that they did not double check this. The scaling is so off. The scaling is so off on OG on the remaster that I hope they fix this. I really do hope they fix this in a patch. The fact that there's even a mod that even, you know, we're back. You know we're back in good old Bethesda town if they're using if there's already mods to fix their shit. And yes, the classic lockpicking system is back in the game. So let me put on my armor here. Give you an idea what the leather, and because this is like what the leather armor looks like, which is really cool. But again, for the sake of the tutorial, we're not gonna really pass too much about the armor, because ultimately it's your class that's gonna define what kind of armor you wear. Another issue too that I've heard is the stealth in the game. The stealth is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, which is kind of hilarious. basically, there are times where the enemy would see you, and you can basically shoot the enemy with like 1,000 arrows, and their buddies in the room will go, must be having a bad day. I do not know why that is an issue, but apparently it is. Because stealth should not be like that. Oh, you know what? A zombie is a good demonstration of the combat. So as you see, the zombie's going on adept. I shouldn't be I should be going pound for pound. Expert, I should kind of be going pound for pound, and then master, I should not even be near master difficulty until I'm good and ready. So let's quickly finish him off with magic. Sound is different. Music is still the same. The classic music of Oblivion. Animations, like, again, everything from top to bottom is still the same, but with a new fresh coat of paint. The good kind of coat of paint that, you know, that's worth the money or the Game Pass subscription. Actually, let me... Some weapons are a bit more dangerous than others. But again, that's why... Wait, heck. It's like, what the heck? When we get out of the dungeon, I can kind of show you what the combat looks like. Because again, this is all tutorial. This is all tutorial enemies, so you're supposed to get through them with ease anyway to begin with. If you can't get out of the dungeon in OG Oblivion, then you must have done something to your game. Okay. Okay, and they come over here. Hmm.
We should find a defensible spot to protect the Emperor until help arrives.
Help? What makes you think help will get here before more of those battles?
Here they come
We
again!
need to get the Emperor out of here. Long burn the dragon fires!
As you can see, the general subtitles is working, but apparently the only time the general subtitles don't work is if you're too close to
Let me take a look
the
around.
NPC. Apparently.
Have you seen the prisoner?
Do you think he followed us? How could he?
So again, it's very weird, but there is inconsistency with the
Sire, we have. Damn it! It's that prisoner again.
subtitles, which is
He
why
might be
I
working with the
mentioned that they should
assassins.
just have it
No,
separate
he is not
between
one.
dialogue and general
He
subtitles.
can help us. He must help us.
As you wish, sire.
Come closer. I'd prefer not. They cannot understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know.
Yes, okay, so he's gonna tell us about the birth signs. Again, this is all role playing, you don't really have to go
I've
too
set the
much
sky-
into
I know.
it. But yes, they've brought the birth signs are the same as it was in OG Oblivion. So again, you can be warrior, mage, thief, but for the sake of the tutorial, we're just gonna be apprentice, just so we can get things. Actually, no, we're gonna be the lord, just so we can.
The signs Your stars are not mine. Today the Lord shall prove a faithful patron in your quest for glory. No trophies met in this to fate. My dream. I go to my
Okay, you get skip the dialogue. Great, cool, awesome. So you saw the transition there, right? So if you turn off the dialogue transition, you gotta wait for Boris to give me an extra torch.
You may as well make yourself useful here. Carry this
See?
torch and stick close.
So you don't have that that zoom in effect.
Stick
So if you
close and
hate
let us do our job.
if you
You'll be
if you hate that zoom in effect that Oblivion has, and if basically the dialogue camera transition, if you turn it off, it gives you a Skyrim feel basically. So the little things.
Take them down!
The Emperor's
Hallows preserve us.
Crabs north. Ah!
So let me do here.
There's no time to talk now.
Die, you
Protect the
scum!
Emperor! My
Talos
sword for the
preserve.
dragon!
This can only lead to
You
your
thought
death.
we'd go down
I
easy?
have sworn to protect me. Come with us.
There's no time to talk.
Okay.
Hold up. I don't like this. Let me take a look.
And of course, if you play a
Looks clear.
person camera,
We're almost through to the
it's
sewers.
definitely again to step up from the OG Oblivion third-person camera, because I believe the OG camera in Oblivion was like right here, I believe. So
Damn it! The gate is barred from the other side. A trap!
What about that side passage back there?
Worth a try. Let's go.
It's a dead end. What's your call, sir?
They're behind us. Wait here, sire.
Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life.
For
the Emperor!
what the fuck?
The Emperor! Die, you bastard! Take them down! Yeah!
For the Emperor!
Sword for the dragon! Thought we'd go down easy.
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the... Take the amulet, find him, and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Stranger, you chose a bad day to take
Ah, you scum! No. Talos, save us. We failed. The amulet. Where's the...
Give it to me.
Strain.
And of
They say
course,
it's the dragon blood that
class,
flows through
right?
the amulet. You must... Jaw. It's a here. There are...
And one of the biggest things that they did here is separating the classes into its own little categories. So you have combat, you have magic, and then you have stealth. Also, you have the warrior, you have the mage, and then you have the pilgrim, or at least, you know, thief. And you can select each of these classes or create your own. In the case of the tutorial, we're just gonna go with what Boris suggested.
I thought so. You take it easy. But I'll stay by the...
Okay, swords are removed, and now we are on our way out of the sewers. There's the key. I know there's like goblins here, but again, like this is all tutorial enemies, so you won't see. But you can see here too, though, on expert difficulty, the rats shouldn't feel, should kind of be a challenge. And of course, like with OG Oblivion, make sure you save it before you leave the sewers. of the Imperial city. Anyways, but for the sake of the first impressions, we're not gonna do that here, because this is just a tutorial. This is just a character. Apparently there's a glitch too where the Oblivion Gate does show itself. Apparently you just have to reset the cell and it disappears. So this is where the combat really truly begins, because now you're out of the tutorial area, so a lot of these enemies shouldn't feel tutorial-like anymore. So this is where the fun begins. As so let's slay the slaughterfish, because of course classic Oblivion, right? And yeah, there's underwater combat. In Skyrim this doesn't happen, but there is a mod for that for Skyrim. But let me heal my character real quick. Okay, so let's fight this bandit here. So this bandit should actually pose a threat here. On expert difficulty, because again, on adept, novice, and on adept, apprentice, and novice, the AI doesn't, the bandits and the enemies don't really feel like a challenge. You can just fly through these dungeons. And expert and mastery, they feel more bullet spongy. With the mod with the Ascension mod and the difficulty scaling fixed mod, and a few mods that the Ascension mod maker recommended, this should bring a much more balanced situation here. So she's gonna hit me, and I should take some form of damage. Okay. As you can see here, I'm going pound for pound with her, so she's not easy taking her down. But if I go adapt, she should.
You're pathetic.
As you can see here, again, it's pound for pound. I recommend playing on expert difficulty because apparently I saw a commentator recommended this, and apparently if you combined the 2.75 scaling, if that's the right recommendation, and combined with the Ascension mod, it feels more of an actual challenge here. As you can see here, the threat has been defeated, but I also took a lot of health damage too. So if you want the scaling to be fixed again, I recommend Ascension. I recommend some of these mods I'm going to put in the description below, just so you could have a much more tamer experience with the Oblivion scaling, until the developers fix it, of course, and then the difficulty scaling fix isn't really needed anymore.
Presence here will not be tolerated. I've fought mud crabs more fiercer than you.
And of course, this is a different VA, as you can see here. And if I remember correctly, that was a puny weapon, so his weapon shouldn't do too much damage. But yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it. And of course, you have the rain effect and everything. But his bow did a lot of damage because he was a bowsman, so obviously his skills with a bow is gonna be a lot more deadlier than with a knife. But yeah, there you have it. there's the first impressions look into the Oblivion Remaster. Let's actually look. Let's actually cause some chaos in Bruma here. Maybe if I time it correctly, you can see the snow effects too. Oh yeah, it's misty morning. You see the snow and the smoke effect here. You have like the fire effect and all that. So you saw the bowman with his knife, right?
It's all over, Lord.
Resist the arrest.
Pay with your blood.
New voice actor. As you can see here, the sword does a lot more damage, and the bow does a lot more damage than the knife. So, if a bandit takes you out with a knife and you're using these mods, you shouldn't even be playing Oblivion. Goddammit. But as you can see, there you go. There's a bit of more of a threat here. So if I do it again, but this time, I actually am more prepared.
Good morning.
I should be able to take this guard out.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Resist the arrest.
You should have paid the fine. Damn you.
And then you do the magic here. It could also be just because the guards are a bit like way higher level than me to begin with. So get taken out. See? Now again, what? But again, it's like, okay, what's this about then? Like why are you showing me? Why are you showing me this? Again, it's just give you a sense of the difficulty scaling and why the difficulty scaling definitely needs to be addressed, because on remaster, on a modded Oblivion Remaster, for whatever reason, you can probably take those guards out because they're bullet spongy. But if you go in here to attack the bandits, they should pose an equal footing. It's also because I don't have any armor on, but if I wear this...
You do realize I'm holding back. Die, Imperial, die! Die, damn you!
As you see, though, you see how there's a bit more of a challenge here. And as you can see, the leveling up is increased tenfold. So that means and then if you do character, you see armor and all that. Light armor, much faster. You wear the grades much faster. You raise normal rate much more slowly, so on and so forth. So again, depending upon the skills you have, and so on and so forth. Along with Ascension, along with the difficulty scaling, a lot of these combat scenarios should feel more deadlier than you just going, oh, that was pretty. Punch him in the face, and you know. But yeah, that's all. That's pretty much it for the Oblivion Remaster. Again, I do recommend the mods. I will put in the description below, because if you want a true, like, kind of tough as nails experience, but still even playing field, then I recommend these mods. Because right now the difficulty scaling is broken. It definitely needs to be addressed right away. And then if you want to know how to install these mods, I'll also put a video in the description to a video from another YouTuber that will show you how to mod your Oblivion. But if Oblivion Remaster. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the first impressions look into the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster, then leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this first impressions look, then check out the other first impressions I have here on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.